And I quote, "Not all students who menstruate are female." Libs of TikTok tweets Minnesota House Rep Sandra Feist while campaigning to put menstrual products in the boys' bathrooms in schools. A shout out to our good friend Bill Maher, who mocked Dennis Prager for pointing this out years ago. Bill Maher. Look where we are now. Let me start this segment off by saying there is not a single biological male who is menstruating. Every single person who menstruates is female. Now, of course, they may want to make arguments about gender, man, woman, or otherwise, but we are talking about the biological terms male and female. Let me play for you this clip, and then we'll talk about where we are in the culture war today.
Who menstruate are female. We need to make sure that all students have access to these products. Let
me start it over.
No on this amendment for a few reasons: practical, financial, social, emotional. First, there are a lot of schools that are moving towards gender-neutral bathrooms, and if we add female, we might become obsolete very quickly. Second, not all students who menstruate are female.
Wrong.
We need to make sure that all students have access to these products. There are obviously less non-female menstruating students, and therefore their usage will be much lower. And that was actually calculated into the cost of this and how much we decided to fund it. And so we do not expect that the non-female menstruating students will use these products as much as the students using female bathrooms, but it's important to have them there. And that brings me to just the social emotional reasons for that. These students who are not female, who menstruate, face a greater stigma and barrier to asking for these products.
This is why I can't stand these people. They first started saying man and woman are social constructs. Male and female are not. Biological sex is different from social gender. And we went, okay, I understand that. Like, you know, women here traditionally wore dresses and skirts and things like that. Men wore suits. But in some places, men wore kilts, and we look at those like skirts. So that whole, you know, how people dress is a social construct. Okay, fine. Then they started saying, like, having a beard was a social construct. And it's just like, well, hold on there a minute. They started saying, like, yeah. You could be a man, and your beard makes you a man. And I'm like, well, some men don't have beards. Then they argued that, well, some men don't have, okay, what? So you can be a man without a beard. I'm like, yes, that means a woman can be a man. And you're like, wait, hold on. Is a man a social construct? Is woman a social construct? Or do they refer to biological functions of a person? Now we're at the point, they've been doing this for a while actually, where they're trying to argue that male and female are also social constructs. Now, granted, they've tried using this line of thought for years, and now it is in politics. This is a psychotic cult. And I'll tell you why. If you want to argue that there should be tampons in the men's room because biological females who are transitioning to men, not males because you can't, need them, I say, okay, I guess, like, whatever, man. It's like not my bathroom. You can put whatever you want in your bathroom. Yo, no joke. I went to a bathroom, and you know, I have those vending machines where it's like you got condoms in it and like perfume. It had candy in it. No, I'm not kidding. It had like some kind of sour gummy candy in it. And I was like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I'm not going to get candy out of the bathroom. But it did. And you can put whatever you want in your bathroom, man. I really don't care. This is where we come to. They're now outright saying in government, this is Minnesota's, I believe this is state house rep, Minnesota's state house rep, saying that there are males who menstruate. Or no, I'm sorry, she puts it non-female. Not sorry, man. If you're menstruating, you're female. No. Hold on. Or intersex. I am not blind to the science. I understand there's a small percentage of individuals who are intersex, may present outwardly as male but have female parts, or present outwardly as female but actually have testicles. There's a condition that's called, I forgot what it's called, but it's like testosterone immunity or something like that. Insensitivity, meaning that someone is born biologically male, but their body does not respond in any way to testosterone. So their body starts developing in a rather androgynous way, and they look female. Then they find out They're like, hey, how come this 13, 14-year-old is not going through puberty? They're like, oh, whoa, you actually aren't a girl. You're actually male. But, you look female because your body did not develop. The testosterone did not have the impact on you as a baby when you were growing. Those things happen too. That person won't menstruate, though. So there's no circumstance where a male does. There's some weird stories, but I want to bring it now to our good friend, Bill Maher. This is a clip that Dave Rubin actually pulled. So this is from Dave Rubin's YouTube channel, where Bill Maher talks about whether or not he's conservative from back in April. Let's play this.
Don't you think you've gotten more conservative? No, I haven't. The left has gotten goofier.
Yes.
So I seem more conservative, maybe, but it's not me who changed.
Yes.
I feel I'm the same guy, but 5 years ago, we hadn't spent $6 trillion to stay home. 5 years ago, no one was talking about abolishing the police.
No, that's wrong. I mean, I'll let him continue.
There was no talk about, pregnant men. And,
Wrong, Mr. Bill Maher. Mr. Bill Maher. Oh, Bill. We were calling this stuff out, and there were people who came before me who were calling it out. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect the guy for finally waking up and realizing what's going on. But the audacity, it's like nobody was talking about it. Bro, you learned about it. Use Google. Not to mention Prager went on your show and warned you about this. Flashback just 3 years ago, a Bill Maher panel ridiculed the idea that leftists claim men can menstruate. Look at this. Here we go. Can we play this clip?
You say that men can menstruate is a lie, and that is what is said.
Wait, where did that?
You never heard it, right? Okay, check it out, folks. Check it out. Anyone who says a man cannot menstruate is considered transphobic.
I missed this whole story.
You did?
I did.
I agree.
Now tell me where you're getting this.
Just Google it. Can men menstruate?
Who is saying this? You're talking about a very small percentage.
Really?
They always do that. You're talking about such a small group of people. When we talk about this genderqueer book, the response I get from every single person is, oh, it was in probably one school. It's in thousands or more. And I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it. It's in one school. So you're saying we shouldn't be concerned about it? Well, I mean, it's not that big of a deal to you, maybe. Then go ignore it. And we'll keep talking about it because it causes, in our view, problems for young people. Just listen to this from Bill, okay? And then Bill goes on, this is back in April, it's almost a year ago, on Rogan, and he's like, nobody was talking about men menstruating or pregnant men. Bro, on your own show, I think this was 3 years ago. Let me pull it up and see what the date was.
How do you allow men?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. Okay, not 5, fine. 3 years ago. And at the time, Bill Maher said that about a year ago. It was 2 years before. Nobody was talking about it. My friend, you need only, when you realize what's going on, Google and take a look at just how far back this goes. The lies, the deceit, the manipulation, and the insanity. Look at the Epstein stuff. This one's I love the most because it's like, it is considered fact now that the Epstein stuff happened. Go back in time 10 years ago and listen to Alex Jones talk about it. And you'll go, wow, that guy was ahead of the curve. But then there are people who are going to be like, we had no idea this was going on. Yeah, you did. Bill, Prager went on your show and told you this, and you mocked him for it. Maybe you should apologize. I mean, apparently the clip from Rubin is just that. Bill Maher now recognizes blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's literally what Bill Maher is doing. But it's going to keep happening unless we push back culturally. And until people like Bill Maher recognize it's been going on a lot longer than he thinks. To say that to Rogan, man, 5 years ago, it's because you weren't paying attention. What we said 5 years ago, mistakenly, was that these young people in college are in for a rude awakening. They're going to get out to the real world, and the real world is going to chew them up. What we did not anticipate is that these people are violent psychopaths. So when they got out of college, they didn't go to their boss and say, oh no, I'm not getting the world I want. What do I do? They went to their boss and said, if you don't give me what I want, I will destroy you. And the boss went, yikes. Look, I don't want to fight. It's the reality of the business. They didn't want a brick thrown through their window, so they said, please, just leave me alone. Whiny, psychopathic, entitled people. That's what this world is turning into. It's funny because there's this idea that we're going to be a transhumanist utopia, that anybody can be anything. You can go and do whatever you want. I'll tell you what we're going to be. We're going to be a mutant future of entitlement and demands where everyone has to live in the fantasies of everybody else. I want to tell you something about this book, Genderqueer. In the book, the author writes that her main, predilection is something called autoandrophilia. That means she is sexually aroused at the thought of being a man. So when this individual tells you you have to recognize them not as a woman or use their special pronouns, that sexually gratifies them. It sexually excites them. To me, I just think that's wrong. But that's where we're going. We're not going in the direction of respecting someone's pronouns. We're going in the direction of a large group of people who are excited physically by certain things. And they're going to force you to participate in that. Yeah, whatever, man. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes. Stick around, and I'll see you all shortly.